Do I think I'll regret working so much later in life? I don't. My short answer is no, but I also don't like speaking in absolutes. I hate saying I will never do blank or I will always do blank. Absolutes are impossible for the most part, which is which is actually an absolute, but hopefully you get the point. Like, it's never always, it's never never. So who knows? All I know is that I am proud of what I'm accomplishing now. And I believe that what I do has some purpose. It's not, it's not curing cancer. It is not in some really specific and important fields. It's not even being a teacher. It is not things that are drastically improving other people's lives, but it helps small business. And I also try to work towards having people on my team feel like they are truly set up to be successful every single day. And I don't do that perfectly. It's really, really hard to do that perfectly for a large group of people, but I love trying my ass off for it. So I don't know. Look, I know I'm not an athlete. I know I'm not a musician, but I also feel like, why can't I treat my career in a similar vein? Why can't I do extra reps, spend extra time on the court, spend extra time practicing to try to be the greatest at my craft? And at the same time, if I can have a halo effect or some sort of ripple effect that helps other people, I'm cool with that. Like, there's certainly worse things to do in your life, I think. Business and management books I recommend: Harvard Business Review, How to Be More Human at Work, greatest book series that I've ever come across. I don't read a lot of books though. I will recommend Blinkist. Blinkist is an app, by the way. I don't do any brand deals, so anything that you see me talking about is just stuff that I genuinely love. Blinkist is an amazing app. It's like, I think $80 a year. I could be dead wrong about that. And you have access to basically a ton of audiobooks boiled down into like Cliff Notes. And you can feel like you're downloading information to your brain. So Harvard Business Review, How to Be More Human at Work, and Blinkist, the app. Sneaker collection. Any recommendations based on what I got here? I actually have a document about how you can do research on some of your favorite makes and models and then arrive at what you think is the best sneaker for you based off of your budget. I would do that, because then you've got some logic behind the pair that you are choosing, and you've done some research relative to what you can afford, but also like what the grails are out there. So give that a shot. Why 4:02 as an alarm clock? So the reason why it's 4:02 is it used to be 4:20, and I thought it was hilarious that I woke up at 4:20 in the morning because of the very obvious and cliche weed joke. Then when I'm like, you know what, I could probably use another 20 minutes, I really wanted to keep at least an essence of that joke alive. So nobody gets it other than people that might be watching this now, but that's one of those where I guess it proves that I entertain myself, at least to a certain extent. So yeah, it's a really bad derivative of a 4:20 joke. Could I produce some advice around balancing being a father, husband, and still accomplished like the person to stand up for? It is, I would say, and look, I'm not perfect at any of this stuff by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm just, trying to answer questions and give perspective in case it helps anybody in any way. I think it starts with time management, being willing to sacrifice stuff that you may want to do for what is the right thing to do if you have specific goals that you want to accomplish in addition to your responsibilities, which hopefully overlap. And what I mean by that is I have a goal of being a specific kind of dad to Evelyn, and therefore I know that from a time management perspective, I need to put things like watching sports and watching series, shows, whatever, to the side so that I can use the time when my family's not around for things that I want to move forward, so that when they are around, I can focus on them. I'm not perfect at this, but I think at the end of the day, most people can probably have a pretty specific conversation with themselves about what they are spending their time on. And it means you're probably gonna make some choices that are not super fun. And you're like, well, I really don't wanna give that up. So then you're actively making that choice. It's balancing being a father, husband, and still accomplishing what you wanna accomplish. I think it comes down to time management and making some hard decisions about what you really wanna do. What do you think you should do when you apply for a position and you're not fully qualified yet? So I was not fully qualified for the job that I have now, nor was I fully qualified for the job that I had before that. But I was able to tell an interesting story and create a narrative for myself that explained why I was the best to help them solve the business problems that they were looking to solve. So when I moved from ABC Sports to ESPN, that was about connecting the dots between what sponsors were looking to do for their brands and how production teams could get those elements on and off the air. Starting lineups brought to you by halftime shows. Sales wanted to do as much as the client would want, and production didn't love to do that, right? They don't want cheesy stuff in the telecast. I came from the production side of the world. I said, you teach me the marketing things, and I can help be the in-house diplomat to get great results from the production team, because I know what happens in that world. And you have nothing but marketers right now. You need somebody from the other side of the coin. So made that argument. And then for my current job, I lucked out because the person who hired me really wanted me for the position, but I was also able to tell an interesting story about taking what I'd learned working with global brands in my production background and applying it to small businesses at scale. Didn't know exactly what I was in for until they brought me in the Thursday before my first day, but that's a whole other story for another time.